Residents in Plymouth can now get their first look at potential environmental impacts from a proposal to convert Hollydale Golf Course into homes. The city released a mandatory environmental assessment worksheet for the project. A developer is proposing to build more than 300 homes on the Hollydale property. According to the worksheet, roughly 80% of the 158-acre property could be redeveloped. The project will involve extensive grading and construction of streets and utilities. 5 acres will be dedicated for parkland. We'll have more details on our website, ccxmedia.org. Meanwhile, the privately owned Golden Valley Country Club plans to sell off some of its property to be turned into homes. A report by the Minneapolis Business Journal, St. Paul Business Journal rather, says the club's shareholders voted Thursday to sell off 2 parcels of land totaling 4.5 acres. The golf course itself would not be impacted from the sale, but the club would need to reconfigure its driving range. Construction could begin next year. Everyone has their favorite snack to munch on during the Super Bowl, but as Delane Cleveland reports, there's one particular food that soars above the rest.
Wings are always a good food.
The lunch hour at Maple Grove's Lookout Bar and Grill is busy.
Yep, we're just here. We stop here for lunch at least once a week.
Dean Noren of the Maple Grove Fire Department is among the Lookout's loyal group of customers. And with an assortment of delicious wings on the menu, it's easy to see why.
These were nice and juicy today and had a nice spice to it.
Chicken wings are one of the restaurant's specialties.
Wings are always a good food, and you can get them in, I think we have 20 different flavors.
With that many options, there's a little something for everyone.
We sell a lot of wings. We sell about 2,500 pounds of chicken a week.
But this is not a normal week. Super Bowl 54 on the horizon, that number is going to skyrocket. According to the National Chicken Council, Americans are expected to eat 1.4 billion chicken wings Super Bowl weekend. That's 27 million more wings than last year.
I believe that because every year the price of chicken wings goes up around the Super Bowl, so the demand must be just as great.
Here at the Lookout, they started taking pre-orders for Super Bowl Sunday chicken wings 2 weeks ago.
Sunday we'll sell about 500 pounds of wings, about 20 times higher than what we'd normally sell.
The palatable poultry seems to pair well with sporting events.
A little different than like the chips and the dip. I think it has substance to it and it has a good flavor. If you're like into the buffalo hot sauces and that, I think it goes good with that and a beer on a football game.
It's a football game that hasn't featured the Minnesota Vikings in 43 years. At least those hardcore Vikings fans can enjoy their favorite finger food while watching other teams have all the fun.
It's simple, and they're awesome.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The cloudiest January on record has local doctors raising awareness about our mental health. Dr. Tally Vang with Hennepin Healthcare is seeing more cases of depression in patients caused by lack of sunlight. It's often called the winter blues, which is less severe than seasonal affective disorder. Symptoms include a lack of energy, such as struggling to get out of bed.
If all of a sudden you're noticing that it's hard to get out of bed, or it's hard to go to work, or maybe you have, when you maybe have dinner plans with friends and all of a sudden you don't want to go anymore even though you used to really like to do that. When those behaviors are starting to become more present, that's when you should start to kind of be a little bit more concerned.
Dr. Vang says being active is a good way to treat it. Scheduling more time with friends or exercise can help break us out of it too. Sunshine in this weekend's forecast should also help. Golden Valley's first brewery is celebrating 1 year of business this weekend with a Beerthday celebration. Under Pressure Brewing is planning food, music, and 2 special beer releases. One of the owners calls Under Pressure Minnesota's first brewery and blendery.
We've come up with these concoctions. We have about 30 blends that we do, so you can get a Nutty Tart, which is our apple and cranberry ale mixed together. You can get a Chocolate Volcano, which is our smoked beer, and our black IPA mixed together.
Festivities start Saturday at noon. Armstrong High School has the perfect pick-me-up for the gray winter days. Neil Pursley got a sneak peek at Seussical in today's Weekend Showcase.
When you think about theatrical production, there's a time for gritty and serious, and then there's that other time
the whole cast and crew and everyone involved has really loved it. It's such a feel-good story with such a happy ending. It's not too dark. In the play we did Macbeth, and that was a blast as well, but I played Macbeth in that, so going from Macbeth to Horton the Elephant, this is like complete polar opposites.
Before the first patron ever takes their seat, there's a small army of students making up the tech crew, without which the show couldn't go on.
I like the environment. The people that are in it are super sweet. I've never had a bad experience in this whole group. And it's all filled with people that want to be involved in theater but not on stage. And so we're all super understanding of each other.
A person's a person, no matter how small.
Dr. Seuss communicated simple life lessons in his stories. Seussical, the musical, takes some of Seuss's most beloved characters, throws them together in a fantastic extravaganza, and relates these lessons in the most heartwarming way.
From Gertrude, we learned that self-confidence doesn't come in a bigger tale, but it comes with the confidence in herself.
I won't let you fall. I'll shelter and guard you, because after all, a person's a person, no matter how small.
Horton the Elephant is the best friend a person could have. He saves the lives of the Who's on their small speck of dust, even though they're so tiny no one can see them.
A person's a person, no matter how small.
The show is so well done in every aspect that it is a joy to watch. If you come in gloomy, I bet you'll leave happy. For Weekend Showcase from Armstrong High School, Neil Persley, CCX News.
As we hit the end of January, local Nordic ski teams are getting set for section meets. The Lake Conference Championship meet was Thursday. The boys up first, and Wayzata's Colin Freed starts first in the skate race in the pursuit format based on his finish in the classic race. And Freed wins the meet in a total time of 25 minutes, 37 seconds for his two races. Noah Castor of the Trojans places third as Wayzata finishes second in the team competition. In the girls' meet, it's Lauren McCollar of Wayzata skiing to the win. Her time for two races, 29 minutes and 5 seconds. After two Edina skiers, Wayzata's Ingrid Halverson is fourth and helps the Trojans to the team title. Sydney Drevlo of Hopkins finishes eighth. The Wayzata wrestling team is ranked 8th in Class 3A. The Trojans lost to St. Michael-Albertville in last season's Section 5 final, and the teams are favored to reach that spot again in a couple of weeks. They met as part of a quad meet Thursday. Wayzata's Cal Lundquist gets the takedown in STMA's Caleb Tennis on his way to a 7-3 win in the 113-pound match. At 126, the Knights get a key win in a matchup of ranked wrestlers. Jed Wester gets a late near fall for a 3-0 win over Kyler Wong. A good match at 138. Wayzata's top-ranked Cale Swenson gets the takedown and beats 5th-ranked Cole Becker 5-3. But STMA dominates the middleweights. Hayden Lullins gets near-fall points, and he beats Dominic Heim 10-0. Knights lead 35-13. Wayzata tightens it up by winning the last 3 matches, including a pin for heavyweight Jack Carver. But it's St. Michael-Albertville winning 35-28. Both teams are missing some key wrestlers. Wayzata did later beat Buffalo and Wilmer. Maple Grove's boys hockey team was coming off an 8-0 shutout win over the weekend. They look to make it 2 wins in a row when they hosted Totino-Grace Thursday night. The Crimson strike early in this one. Henry Thomas with a one-timer. It stopped, but Cal Thomas knocks the rebound home. To goal just 2:59 into the game. The Eagles tie it midway through the first period. Kyle Heffron with the shot. The rebound comes right to Austin Bernovic. He scores, and it's a 1-1 game after 1. But it's all Maple Grove after that. Second period. Nelson passes out front to Ian Barber, who's all alone. He scores. The Crimson are ahead for good at 2-1. Later, it's Parker Wente with a shot from the point. It trickles toward the net. Number 4, A.J. Thomas there knocks it in. And it's a 3-1 game. Just 46 seconds later, the Crimson add another. Chayton Fisher's shot squeezes through the goalie's pads. William Peeler sweeps it in. Maple Grove leads 4-1. And they add one more before the end of the period. Grace goalie Wes Johnson left to fend for himself here. Joshua Giuliani and Tallis connect, and Tallis tucking in his second goal of the period there. Crimson lead 5-1 after 2, and on the way to an 8-1 win over the Eagles. The Armstrong boys basketball team had its 11-game winning streak snapped in a loss to Spring Lake Park last Friday. The Falcons have started a new streak as they look for their second win of this week, facing Anoka. Hopkins coach Ken Novak Jr., former Wayzata coach Phil Warden joined the game together. Nobody guards Armstrong's Deshaun Larkins here, and he lets it fly for a 3. Peyton Newbern drives for Armstrong. A finger roll and a foul. Dylan Iniger gets a hand on the pass, and then Newbern finds Larkins, and he finishes. And Armstrong's up 57-25. Another loose ball transition for the Falcons. Adam Bewin passes to Larkins, and he scores. 4 players scoring double figures for the Falcons. Armstrong rolls to a 77-36 victory. They are now 13-2. And that is all for sports. More news after this.